Dayton ug iyang asawang bulanon
magtiayon sa lalawigan sa Bohol.
Ng isang dayuhan at ang kanyang asawang Pilipina.
7 taon ng mag-asawa sina Terence at Beth na nakatira ngayon sa lungsod ng Talibon, Bohol. Suportado ni Congresswoman Alexi Totor ang programang pabahay ng mag-asawang Martin sa probinsya ng Bohol dahil sa inisyatibong tumulong sa mga Boholano.
Don't forget to share.
There's another one. There's another one.
There's another one. There's another one.
It's about Alfred. Should we answer to this?
Right then.
Wow, there's electricity now. I'm very happy.
Oh, she's talking about something else, by the way. There's electricity
Dai,
at the tai-tai.
add to pag-picture sa may suba. Pag-picture sa may suba. Nga makita ang mga balay. Nga makita ang whole house. Ang Tibuok Village. Tibuok
Honey,
Village.
can you talk in English, please? I have no
Yeah,
idea
I
what
asked
you're
one of our
talking about.
students who live there, house number 50, daughter, if he can, because this, around 2 o'clock, she said, Ate, there's, no, 1 o'clock, 11, Ate, there's already the electric company come here with a big post. And I said, wow. And I said, can you do picture of the family, and at the same time, from the seaside, saying the whole village, that there's a light already. And look at
Sorry,
that.
just wait a minute, honey. Wait.
One.
Now, if you're watching this as an expat, what would you do with that message? Auntie, there's a man come here with a big post.
Not the electric company.
Well,
What?
I know that now, but first you have to go, okay,
I'm very happy.
what's the big post? Well, it's a great big post. They describe the post exactly, but they don't tell you what it's for. You know? So in this particular case, the electrician or the power company needed a much taller post, was it,
Okay.
or something, so that they could hook the lines up between, so they could feed that particular small. Really, it was almost like a small village that we put up at the end of the road. I called it the end of the road. And
Salamat,
we
Dad.
did, was it 10
Yeah.
houses?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
9, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, so we're very happy for it.
Yeah.
Imagine those kids there, those people there has no electricity, and now wow. Yeah, so here, this is about Alfred. Hi Terence, I'm curious why Alfred want a young lady. He is already old and look cannot give happiness to a young lady. I'm talking about sex. Grabe. Diritso. And another thing, I don't want to be personal, but all foreigners wanted young ladies. Selfish, right? Or just wanted boastful? P.S. Continue your goodies. Joselle.
Well,
Grabe ka ba?
one thing's for sure.
Diritso.
One thing's for sure. Whatever any old man says is not going to be believed. No one is going to believe what I say on it. But I do remember that when I first met Beth, I thought, she's too young for me. And when Beth first met me, she looked at me and, not surprisingly, she said, he's too old. But somewhere along the way, we talked and talked and talked. And when I left to go back to where I was living at the time, which was Mabalaca in San Fernando, and or close to San Fernando, and when I went back there, because I was only on a brief trip just to have a look at Cebu, and when I went back, something made me say to Beth, I think that maybe we have a chance. I don't know, was this exactly what I said to you, huh?
No, it's just been, we met during 2013.
Well, don't say no and then say
Yes.
exactly the same thing.
Different, darling.
No, and now it's yes.
It's
this
different.
is what happens. So that's what I said. Was that what I said, darling? No.
That's how it works.
Well, what did I say? Yeah, you said yes.
Darling, it's about, it's kind of, we are meant for each other, But the question
We didn't know that then,
yeah,
did we?
But it's kind of, there's something force that putting us together.
Oh, that's why I'm trying to see what I mean. It's a big.
I think I remember the one thing that we met on, we met in Cebu, and then Terence said, how about you come here? We went to Baguio, You know, because Terence said, what
That
place would you want?
she's just squashing it all together.
Let me do it, darling.
Well, you can do your version of it in a moment, all right?
Wow.
But what I remember is, just something happening that made me think that we had a chance.
Yeah, because she's so beautiful on me.
This is never mind all that BS. She's
And then she says to me,
but
"Well?"
if she'll can you just draw breath for a moment, darling? What happened was that I said, I'm going back to San Fernando, and I'm going to be away for possibly a month. I think we should not see anybody else at all. No lunches or dinners or nothing. Just not see anybody else, so that when we come back together, we have a clean. It's like a clean slate. We are both clean. Because I knew that I just didn't think that for me I could stand coming back and being told, well, there was this handsome guy in, and I knew that I couldn't tell her that I'd gone out with this girl or that girl. So we agreed that we would keep it just between us two. And then, because of that, while I was away, I think I was away for 2 weeks, and that was too long, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2 weeks, and then after that, she's been
said,
calling me. She's been texting. Listen to me. You know, let me. You know, she said, because we met 2014. You know, we met 2014 on the earthquake. 2013 something. 2013 in the earthquake. You know, so we've been chatting already because of a common friend. And then Terence says, oh, I've been here, you know, and I said, oh, I cannot sleep, you know, I've been waiting because of there's some aftershock, you know. And then I've been in the barangay, you know, I've been in the barangay hall, you know, there's a barangay coliseum, something like that.
Oh, you were,
you know,
so evacuated there?
Evacuation, but then I said, it's a lot of people here. So I'm
so
going back to the boarding
in
house.
A taxi.
Yeah, going back to the boarding house, you know, because the boarding house is just next few steps to the barangay coliseum where there's a lot there. You know, so now I said to Terence, oh, it's already 2 o'clock. You know, it's already 2 o'clock. So Terence said, okay, how about you can come here and we can talk. There's a lobby in the hotel. You know, so I said, okay, I'll try. I'll try to think about it. You know, so
to think about it.
You know, no, I mean, I'll try to think if I go. You know, so I said, okay, listen to me.
Now you gotta listen.
Listen to
You
me.
gotta listen to this now, because when she came,
I put the name.
I said, you know, thinking about it, I mean, I know that I'm a great guy, but you didn't really know that. So,
I put her
you know,
name.
don't you think you took a risk?
I put a complete name on my television. If something happened to me, this is the guy. I met somebody. You know, because I think, what do you call that? It's kind of aftershock. In my boarding house, it's my roommate's already not there. You know, so I said, if something happen, if the earthquake coming here, I will, you know. So it's already 2:30, and 2:30, and then I just get a taxi, going to her place. I going to the lobby there, because I Google. Oh. So now, I've been there. I think I arrived 3 o'clock. You know,
So my
3, 4,
picture-
5, 6, 7. Oh no,
My picture is like a wanted notice
Yeah, so-
on a television.
3,
saying,
4,
if I-
5, 6, 7
If
for
I
5
disappear,
hours.
this is the guy that did it.
For 5 hours we talk. You know, for 5 hours we talk, and then after that, because I have a duty in the hospital on that morning.
And I had a plane to catch.
And she got a plane to catch around 9 or 10. You know, so after that, I arrived in the hospital. You know, I've arrived there, and then because it needs to be what do you call that, darling? We are been out. You know, so the patients are also been out in the area there in the parking
Yeah,
lot.
that whole night, certainly as far as the hotel went, was that they had
In and
they had a vibration, a buzzer, which as soon as they felt any slightest
You need to
aftershock,
be out.
everybody had to get out. So we had to go and stand on the street, and then we stand there until a moment or two had passed, and then we were allowed to go back in and sit in the lobby until the next aftershock, which came about 10 or 15 minutes later, believe it or not.
Yeah, so after that, I've been in the hospital already. So all the tables are been displayed somewhere in the road and in the parking area. because of they're going to make sure that the building is secure. So Terrence has been texting, I've been, and I cannot reply right away, I cannot reply because I'm in work, I cannot compute the bill of the patient and compute how are you, so that's another thing. So it's been 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. And then Terrence said, so every time Terrence says, oh, can you come here? Are you safe? Are you home safe? And sometimes I'm very, very tired, so I come home and I said, oh, I cannot reply. Sometimes I cannot reply to him. And I said the next morning, why is it you never reply? Are you right? So that's what happened. And then in that 2 weeks, he's always been in the morning calling, in the texting while I'm been in the work, and I cannot reply. But I already explained, look, I cannot respond to you. It means that I'm in work. So that's what happened. And then when I come home, sometimes, because sometimes I have a morning shift or something afternoon in the night. So now Terrence says, sometimes Terrence has been talking and I'm already asleep. So and then Terrence said,
Yes,
how about you file a
a
day?
habit which has continued.
Habit that is continued. Now she's talking and sleeping. So now what happened is when she said, how about can you come here and we go to Baguio, because I share already that I like to go to Baguio. So I file a leave for 3 days or 4 days, for 5 days, including Saturday, Sunday. So 5 days there. So we go to Baguio. I fly for the first time there. I fly the first time to Manila, so went there, Subic. Pampanga, darling, right? Subic? Is that correct?
No,
Yeah.
you went to,
Subic?
you were able to go
Clark.
to Clark.
Yeah, Subic is not Clark. Listen, darling.
No, it's not Clark. Darling.
So we went to Baguio. We spent there for 2 days, and then after that, 2 to 3 days. After that, we come back, and then straight to the airport, and that's where we stopped by on her apartment because I need to get things, and he got some, what do you call that? He says we gotta have dinner, and then while we're having a dinner, she says, oh, come on, can we burning, you remember you do some candles,
We decided
some candles.
we decided that we knew enough about each other to put the past behind us, and so that we didn't keep regurgitating the past, we wrote down whatever it was we wanted to put behind us on pieces of paper. So we talked about all of these things, and then we wrote them down on the paper, and then we burned the paper.
Yeah, and while we're burning something, it's a kind of me that, wow, there's
ritual.
something that can be, there's something that can be work on us, when for the time that we've been together, and he's been so, what do you call that, darling?
That was just
He's
wonderful.
been respectful, So now what happened is, he says, while we've been boarding, I said to Terrence, look, I need to be in the flight. I don't want to be late. So he says, I got a small packet on my t-shirt, on my polo, and then he put something in it, and he said, can you get it while you're in Cebu already? So what I did, I didn't do anything, and I forgot about it. And while I've been in the plane, I said, Lord, I don't know. All I wanted is I'll be ended up with some guy. I would ended up for a man that will,
Yeah. All you
Listen to
wanted
me.
was that you would end up with some guy.
Let me finish my story sentence. I said, Lord, remember I've been flying in the night, and I said there's a lot of stars, and I said I look out in the window and I said, Lord, I want to be with someone that will not break my heart again. Right? I want to be with someone that will care for me. I want to be with someone that love me more than I love him. Right? That's what I said. Remember? It's realistic. You need to be. I know that you need to love each other, but there's kind of balance. But I want to make.
There has
I want
to be
do
a
that.
balance. It's about 90-10.
In other words, he loves me more than I love him. So that's what I said. Look, and something that can be help me to build myself. And then I remember the notes in the package, and I said, I love you. I want to be with you to spend for the rest of my life. And that's the word that catch me.
That's what was on the note.
That's what in the note. I love you. I want to spend my life with you I want to spend the rest of my life with you. You are my last. And I said, well, I'm not his first.
You are my last hope.
So that's what happened. So we get married. So now he fly back to Cebu, and we start processing our marriage. Imagine for just 4 hours 4 hours talking, you know. So sometimes I said to Terrence, wow, for 4 hours that we've been talking together, and for 50 years age gap, we're still together. How did it work? You know, and then I always said, I think you owe me. You owe that to me because I always been, if we have some arguments, I always said, okay, darling, sorry, but it's his fault. But I always been,
Well,
you know.
oh, we know. Any man who's watching this now will automatically know that whatever happens, it's always my fault.
Yeah, so as I said, it's the man and the woman. You know, I always saying that foreigner. Why is it foreigner? Has always been having a younger Filipina, because we as a Filipina, we wanted to be someone to be care, someone that is loving, someone that is caring. You know, so but it's not all that. It's not a guarantee that it means that old foreigner is caring, because there are also some old foreigner that is crazy. You know, so yeah, you know, the important is before you jump up to a kind of relationship, before you jump up into marriage, you need to ask for a sign. You know, ask for a sign and ask for guidance that, look, I pray that will be the right persons for you. You
There's a
know?
lot of people out there that think if the woman asks for a sign, it's one of these signs.
A dollar sign. No. You know, because it's not about the
It's
money
not a
after
dollar
all.
sign or a pound sign.
It's not
is it?
about the money after all that you need. You be happy. You know, life is not just about the financial. You know, it's about how you choose to be happy in this world. You know, I remember I've been talking to a pastor the other day. You know, and then he said, look, I remember before, you know, I was just shocked how you and Terrence has been doing right now. You know, because he knows how we start here, we live here, you know, and then he knows how we start doing, you know. And then he said, wow, I just can't believe that God uses, you know, how God moves your life to be an instrument for others, you know. And that's really catch me, and saying, Lord, you know, thank you for using our lives to help. Thank you for using our lives to be instrument to see these other people how good you are. But Lord, we cannot do it on our own.
No, I should put that. No, that's another little.
We cannot do it on our own. We need your guidance.
That's
you know?
another little rumor that we should put down as well. Is that this gets bent and twisted out of all kind of shape. When I came out here, I didn't have very much. I had about $2,000. That's what I had, but I had my pensions.
Yeah.
And I came and I stayed with my son. I didn't have any expenses, food, and a little entertainment. And I spent some time with one of my kids, grown-up kids.
And believe me, you know, remember when Terrence come to Cebu, his pension from the US and UK, something stopped because he didn't do any of life certificate. And I'm the one, we live on my salary, right? And sometimes my salary
That's
is not
because
enough.
the American pension
Because I need to send
stopped.
here.
So we only had the smaller pension to actually survive on.
Yeah.
You know? But by that time, pretty well, the 2000 was pretty well gone. I bought the Volkswagen and had it done up. It was really beautiful. We drove the Volkswagen down from Mabalacat, San Fernando. We drove it all the way down through Manila, and then through, was it Leyte?
Yeah.
And we took it on 2 ferries, and it was a beautiful little car.
And another thing is about since you're opening about it, you know, it's about going to Hong Kong, going to Thailand. It's not we don't have any peso expend on that because it's our friend little bit rich at doing that, going to Palawan, you know. So we're forever grateful because I've been able to go to other country, you know. And then the other about us going to the resorts. You know, right now, that I said to Terrence, you know, if it's just a normal pandemic, if there's no pandemic, we cannot afford on that resort. You know,
No, we
so
can't.
that's why we try
We can't
to.
afford to go into the parking lot
Yeah.
of somewhere like Bellevue. If there's no pandemic, what were those rooms? Were like
20
15 or
something.
20,000,
Yeah.
weren't they?
And that we get for 4,100 something.
Full.
Yeah, because it's pandemic, you know. So I said so, and you know what? We tried to save I said to Terence, look, we cannot, if we go to Talibon, we will not eat, you know, we'll just eat here so that we can go to the resort, something like that. So we tried to, what do you call that, darling? You need to sacrifice things in order to get this.
Yeah.
And that's
We don't
that's
have-
our mantra.
We don't have any difficulty with that.
Yeah, really, as long as, that's our mantra, because if we wanted these things, then we need to sacrifice, to have not that thing. But overall, our relationship works. Right, darling? Because the secret is find a wife that always understand on your moody foreigner. Right? So, wait, it's about Alfred, darling. Why is it Alfred? You didn't.
What are you talking about?
Is
Who's Alfred?
The letter is about Alfred.
How did we get off onto us then?
Yeah, you're what?
Well, obviously it's my fault.
Wait, I'm talking about Alfred.
Alfred,
The
well,
message is about Alfred, darling. Look at the message. Hi, Terence. I'm just curious why Alfred want a young lady.
well, she's
He
talking
is already
about,
old and looks
it's not-
cannot give happiness.
Wait
Answer
a
that.
minute, it's not just talking about Alfred. She's using Alfred as a springboard, and she's jumping off to ask about men, older men generally.
Then talk about the Alfred thing.
Well, there's nothing more to talk about with Alfred. Oh, by the way, there's
Oh, there's another
you
one.
may
We
have
just put it.
seen, if I may finish my sentence, darling, there's a video that's saying Alfred scammed and dumped. Alfred is our friend. Alfred called us to talk about his problem. He was the one that decided that he wanted in the first place to be with Talia, not us. Personally, I never thought that would work, but it's all in the same compound and he was staying with us. So, irrespective of whatever you may read on that, Alfred has asked us to advise him or support him, and we're as dizzy with the number of people that are interested in him as well as possibly you are. And we actually thought that when he told us that he was splitting from Talia, we actually told him that we thought he should stay. That was our take on it. But then he revealed other things that made it impossible for him to stay. And even now we're talking about him. I don't actually want to talk about Alfred. I would prefer for him to make his way, and that's actually what he's doing right now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you even with us at the moment,
Yeah.
darling?
No, we just put
Or
it all
did you
together.
dump me off at the Alfred station and
We just put it all together. I
We
just
go from there.
No, because there's a letter. Hi, Terence. I'm just curious why Alfred want a young lady. He is already old and looks cannot get happiness. For another please continue your good deeds, Giselle. And there's another email saying, how was Alfred and her newfound love? Please let us know how he's doing and how and are they happy? Alfred Teleserie is very in demand for the next episode and lot of viewers is waiting. A Filipina in California.
Didn't we agree that we would not do any more videos about Alfred?
Yeah, there's an email. It's about answering email and go on email. What should we gonna do?
Personally, I would just rather let him get on with his life. He actually is not. He is not.
Alfred is a good person.
He's not social media like we are, like we have chosen to be.
But then, Alfred is a good person in other ways. But there are some There are some issues involved.
He is.
But
He's.
But there are times that we
He
make.
is a good. He's a good guy.
But it's Aritalia is a good person, but then there are things that we cannot in control, because as I said, life
And nor should we.
so cannot in control. There are things that it's better to let go. It's better to
Are you talking about us now, or
not to
about
them, because
them?
always, but I'm very happy. They're very happy now. They're very happy. Alfred is still continue in his searching, because it didn't work, the shared love.
That's why I said I don't think that we should even do
Yeah.
anymore.